you have a pencil? Yeah, you're very welcome to have a pencil if you've got one. Well, it's not got anything to write with at all. Well, I'm not. That's not very good, though. What are you doing all day? You haven't got any lessons you need to write? Weird. Right. Oh, sorry, Ava. But I left that there. Right. Okay. So, listen up, boys. So, we are going to be carrying on with pretty much what we were doing yesterday, just with the twist. It will be another one that if you've got access to going onto your Dr. Frost during the lesson, then you can do. What I've done, I've booked the mez for tomorrow's lesson. So any of you who aren't able to go onto Dr. Frost, don't worry about it. Just save all your worksheets with all your answers on it, and then tomorrow morning's lesson, we can just upload it all. I mean, obviously some of you said you were going to do it in evenings or tutor period and all that. That's great if you have. But if you haven't got around to it, that's absolutely fine. We'll be in the mess. You can just get bang up to date. But the moral is, if you're not inputting your answers as you go, don't lose those worksheets, and it just will mean you've got to do it again. Okay? So here's today's topic. So I'm just going to talk you through this. So a prism is a three-dimensional shape that's the same all the way through. So for example, that would be a prism. Okay, just sort of a typical sort of tube. Okay, you could have a triangle on the end. Right, so that's sort of shape. All right, so let's just do the dotted lines, which you can't see. So a bit like a Toblerone, that sort of thing. It could be like a Smarties thing, okay, where you've got a circle on the end. Now, volume. Need to make notes of this, Ava. So everybody just brief notes on this, please. Okay, let's get back into sort of school habits. I've got some books. I knew I would run out. If anyone else has run out of their book, then okay. So basically, the volume, as you probably all know, is the space inside a space, like the air in this room or the water in a swimming pool. Now, to work out the volume, you do two things. To work out the volume, you do two things. Step one, you work out the, sorry about the writing, it's because we'll blame Tom on Teams, and it just slows everything down. So step one, you have to work out the area of the cross-section, not the end bit. So step one, we would have to work out the area of the end bit. So if it's a rectangle, you work out the area of the rectangle. If it's a triangle, you work out the area of the triangle. What do we have to do to go from an area of a rectangle to triangle? What's the key bits? Good, well done, Will, good man. So step one, you work out the area of the cross section. That's the shaded bit. So it could be a rectangle, it could be a triangle, on other days it could be a circle, not today. And then you've just got to follow the same skills as yesterday. So if it's a triangle, remember to halve it. If it's a rectangle or a square, don't. And then so you take that area, and step two, you multiply this by the depth. You multiply this. Got that in Prisms as well. Echo. So the depth is just purely how flat the prism is. So it's this length here. So it's simply a two-step process. Step one, work out the area of the end bit and be careful to remember your skills between the triangle and the rectangle. Take that number, say it was 35, and the depth was 10, you just do 35 times 10, 350, Bob's your uncle. Its volume, it's three-dimensional, so the units would be like centimetres cubed or millimetres cubed, etc. So final point, I just want you to write down the unit, or no, different colour. So that's it. That's all you have to do. But the units would be, for example, millimeters cubed, or centimeters cubed, or meters cubed. It's three-dimensional. So if you have to put in the units, whatever units you do for length, it's those cubed. So I'm just going to model two examples, okay? And then I'll let you loose on the questions. Okay? I can come back to these slides in a minute, so if you need for me to go back, for you to tidy up your notes, don't panic, I'll come back in a minute. But I just want to give you the opportunity to make a start if you're up to date with the notes. See, Leo's not even making notes, he's just made a start already. Right, so this is what I want you to do. Here's the question. You can choose what is your end bit. You can choose. So I'm going to make that my end bit. Okay, so step one, I work out the area of my end bit, which is 5 times 4 equals 20. And then step two, whoops, different colour. Step two, I take my 20 and I multiply it by the depth of the prism, which is 10. So that gives me 200. And my units, centimeters cubed. Very good. So 2 steps. I've worked out the area of the end bit. Now, I could have made the front bit my end bit. That would have been fine. And then I'd have multiplied it by the depth, which is 4. Right. Second example. Again, I can come back if you want a bit more time. Right. Step one. Classic mistake. Thank you for modelling the classic mistake. Is it a rectangle on the end? It is 6 times 2, but because it's a triangle, remember to halve it. That's up to you. You can halve it at the beginning, halve it at the end, it's the same thing. Yeah, so you get, what we could do, Poppy, what are 6 2s? Halve it? Yeah, or you could halve at the beginning. What's half of 6? And then times it by 2? Still get 6. It doesn't matter. Well, okay, do it the Poppy way. That's absolutely fine. But that's how I would still want you to write it down. So it's 6 times 2, which is 12, and then Poppy halves it to get 6. Okay, absolutely agree, but don't forget that half. Why we've got a half in there? Because it's a triangle you all say at once. And then step 2, what do I do with that 6? Come on, don't all shout at once. Times it by 10, thank you. So that's 6. You then, step 2, you multiply by the depth to get 60 centimetres cubed. So if you were filling it up with water, that's the amount of water you would need. Thank you very much. Right, that's it, folks. That's it, folks. So please, can you, I can go back to any slides if you want to tidy up your notes. And but I just want you to work on that worksheet that Theo just kindly handed out. And then you're up to you. You either are allowed to use your phones, you know, your parents allow you, you've got 4G and all this business, and you're going to upload your answers as you go. Or you're going to upload them in your own time, that's fine, or tutor period, or whatever, that's fine. Or in tomorrow's lesson when we're up in the mess. Right, so that's it. So I'm just going to stop the recording.